Looking at the Pivot Interactive's measurements lab. So the key for this lab is to, one, be comfortable with Pivot, and then two, to make sure you understand how we make measurements and report them to the correct number of significant figures. So remember, when we're doing and we report numbers to the correct number of significant figures, we include every digit we're certain of and the first we estimate. So the key is to look at the instrument and figure out what the divisions are. So if I'm starting out here with this measurements lab and I'm looking at this ruler is a metric ruler, it's reading in centimeters, and each major division, the 1, the 2, the 3, are in units of centimeters. In between, there are going to be units to 0.1, because if we count from, say, 8 to 9, there's going to be 10 in there, and that's going to give us our 0.1. So that's 0.1 centimeters. So if we just look at this and we can try to consider what this value is, we see that this is 8.7 kind of something. And remember, the rule is every digit you're certain of and the first one you estimate. When we estimate, the rule is we're going to take and we're going to do it to tenths. So if our last digit is a 0.1 on the ruler, we're going to estimate to 0.01, which means we're going to add one more digit. Now, what digit you add is going to be dependent on what you see. So there's multiple different estimations. It's not certain, again, it's estimated. So if you look at this measurement and you think it reads 8.75 something, that something is dependent upon your eyes. So it could be 8.75, 8.76, etc. So if we go down and we look at our labs, we're going to just talk about what kind of answer we're doing. Note, you're going to click an answer. This here tells you how many submissions. You can have 2 submissions. After that, you can't get any credit for the answer. And then you submit it when you're done, and then you keep going. What would you use for a thermometer? So you keep on going down these. Now, we're going to take and look at using the tools. Pivot Interactives comes with tools. And the toolbar here, if I look at this is the toolbar. And if I click on that, it is going to allow me to open up options. What those options are depends on what you're doing in this lab. So because we're measuring length, width, etc., we're going to be using a ruler. You go back here to our instructions, there's a video player in here, and this video player tells you how to use it, and it tells you what to click and how to go from there. With one further note, when we do this, with a note, make sure you make your image full screen. So to make it full screen, I'm going to pop this button right here. That is the full screen button. And when I do that, I'm going to allow it to get the maximum number of or amount of sig figs on this measurement. So I'm going to click to full screen. It's going to pop out. And then I'm going to open my toolbar. This toolbar, again, is that top right that looks like a little wrench with a screwdriver. And it's got options. It's got all sorts of things, but I want the ruler. So that ruler is 4 in, and I'm going to click on this. When I do this, I need to measure some stuff. So you're going to take, and you can move this ruler however you want. Now, I realize that it's not completely straight, and believe it or not, you can actually rotate these, and that is an option. I'm not going to do it on this one, but you can take and you can read across. Remember, when you do this, you include every digit you're certain of and the first that you estimate. And if you noticed, I just clicked on it and it allowed me to actually change the angle on this. These are very slick and they're very actually pretty easy to use. So you're just going to move it until it lines up, and then you're going to read across. So as we read across, we can get our length of this or our width of this. When we do that, we know we're reading to right here, and we're going to estimate to the 1 digit past what you can read on this scale. So when you're done with this and you think you've seen what you need to see to make your measurement, you're going to take and go out of this, and we're going to click out of this. So I'm going to go out of the tools, and I'm going to go out of my stop share, or my expanded screen. To do that, that is right down here at the bottom of this screen. And so I'm simply going to take and click on this, and it's going to go back down again. Now, once I've done that, I can take and answer the questions. So my questions are going to be, okay, what's the smallest marking? What is the width? You're going to do the same thing, and you're going to take and you're going to rotate this and do the length as well. So Do that, the length and the width, again, just to practice, remembering you've got to take and go to every digit you're sure of in the first estimated, which means we're going to have to take a look at this. Use the circle on this to rotate our ruler. Now we're going to do volume. Remember, with volume, you read from the bottom of the meniscus. The bottom of the meniscus, if you're not sure, is right in there. It's that sort of dark line you see at the very top of the liquid at the beginning of that sort of empty space. Again, record it to the correct number of sig figs. Sometimes you put something behind it to see it a little better. And then we're going to do a thermometer. So with, again, the thermometer, you're going to make sure you've pulled this out and you do it full screen, and you're going to read room temperature. So you're going to take and adjust that as needed. And then we're going to take and we're going to put it into some water. So we're going to measure the temperature of the water. And you go, well, how do I do that? It's just sitting here. Well, we're going to press the play on the video. The play button on the video is right there. So if I press that play button on the video right there, it's going to, we're going to take and put it in boiling water. Again, go to full screen so you can see this. Wait till the temperature stops moving. When the temperature stops moving, this little red alcohol in here stops moving, then you're going to read the temperature. Remember, every digit you're certain of and the first you estimate, so you're going to wait till it stops going up and go from there. Then you're going to put it in ice water, do the same thing, record your values. And you're just going to take and put your values in here. When you do this, make sure you label them. All right, so make sure you say boiling water and then the temperature, correct number of sig figs, ice water, put down the temperature to the correct number of sig figs. And that is how you do this. And when you're done, there should be a submit button. It may be submit answer there. I don't see this one currently in student preview. So with that, make sure you submit it. The other thing you can do is you can show split view. Split view is this option that is right there. And split view, when you do this, puts the video next to the question. Make certain if you do that, that you go out when you actually make your readings. So sometimes that can give you a bit more space and kind of wraps around nicely if you need it. You may not on this particular lab. All right, that's making measurements.